So this is the controller for the heating, and the buttons on the outside aren't very helpful because they don't really show anything. However, if you just press one of them, then you get a little screen that comes up. Now, at the moment you can see it's on auto, which is the timer, which is controlled by these programs here, P1 to 4. Okay, so to switch between automatic and manual, you just press this. Now on manual, you just see the current temperature and a target temperature. You just see the flame just came on, so that's actually switched the heating on. Let's switch it back to automatic, and you can see the current temperature and the target temperature there, 15. So the heating's gone off. Right. On the manual setting, to adjust the temperature up and down that you want, you just press the buttons. So you can see that button going up there, or going down. Right, there we go. So now you can see that actually it's hotter. There we go, and the boiler's gone off. Okay, that's manual. Right, just to switch the whole thing on, off and on, it's just this button here. Off, on. Pretty simple there. So if you want to keep it on manual, you can have it on as off and then just put it on when you want it. Okay, at the moment I've got it set to automatic. Right, so there are 4 programs, P1, P2, P3, P4. And what you do with these is you enter a time and a temperature. What it means is at that time it will switch the heating on if it needs to hit the temperature that you've set. And then when it hits the next program, which will be a different time, it will try and hit the temperature that you've set. So in this way you can set up start and finish times for your heating throughout the day and night. So for example, for this one, if I press menu, then we're into prog. And in this one, if we set the tick here, this is to say select. Right, and we've got Monday there, which is essentially day 1. Then we got copy, then we got up or down. But let's say we want to change Monday. Right, P1's flashing, so you can see here that on P1 at 6:30 in the morning, then it will try and hit 19 degrees. So at 6:30 in the morning, if it's less than 19 degrees, the heating will come on. Right, if we're okay with that, we move on. Right. So this is how you would, by cycling through the ticks, is you would be able to change this. Right. Program 2, at 10 o'clock, it'll say, right, I don't care about the temperature so much. I'm now going to drop it to 15. Right. So if we wanted to change that and say, okay, I'm okay with 10 o'clock with the heating going on, but that's a bit too hot. Yeah, I really don't want the heating on during the day because I'm out. There we go. I just reset that to 12. Right, then it'll save, comes up. Then it goes into P3. So at 4 o'clock, it's going to try and hit 21 degrees. Let's cycle through the change. And then at midnight, not midnight, 10 o'clock in the evening, it's going to hit 13 degrees. Right? And if we're okay with those, then we save it. Now then, this little arrow here is back. So you can go back. You're back on program. Now, let's go into program again. So we've got Monday. Now we've got this little thing here called copy. If I press that, it'll copy the program I've just set up for Monday, right? And then it'll ask me where I want to copy it to, which, if you can see, is day 2. So I'm going to go, yes, I want to copy it to day 2. I'll save. Then day 3. and day 4, and day 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and that's back. Right. And if you press one of these, you cycle through the different programming options. So you've got a settings, so you can go in here and set in here. So you can, this is where you can set the year, month, date, the time, and then we're done. Okay, so that, in short, is the guide to the heating panel.